I'm Zoluva, and I think I should explain what led to the images and videos shown previously. Welcome to Roblox Ready Player 2, a look back. The Roblox Ready Player 2 event was an official sponsored event hosted to promote the release of Ernest Cline's novel, Ready Player 2. This book was a sequel to his best-selling book, Ready Player 1, which also had a Roblox event made for it. This event was driven by free prizes for completing puzzles hidden among games. There were 10 prizes in total, 2 being limited and the other 8 being obtainable whenever. What made this event great was the reason for finishing. 7 of these 10 items were referred to as relics. The first 77 players to return to the Ready Player 2 hub with all 7 collected would receive the Metastar. The first 777 people who returned all 7 relics back to the Ready Player 2 hub would receive the Metaphones. And after that, any player who returned all 7 relics to the Ready Player 2 hub would receive the Meta Shades. The stakes were high here, which created a sense of competition during this event. Despite there not being an extra incentive for receiving the relics first, up until the last one, it was still a race on who could figure out the puzzles first. Now, with context added, let's dive in. There will be many names mentioned throughout this video, for both good and for bad reasons. Do not harass anyone who is mentioned in this video. Everyone mentioned in this video is simply included for informative purposes. Thank you. On October 9th, 2020, the YouTube channel known as Potverse uploaded a video. The video was titled Ready Player 2, a conversation with Ernest Cline and Will Wheaton. In this video, Ernest Cline discusses his upcoming novel, Ready Player 2. But that's not what's important. What's important is when he says,
we have something exciting planned with Roblox, so yeah, keep an eye out for that.
This was the first official mention of anything going on with Ready Player 2 in Roblox. The next mention wouldn't be until October 26, 2020. On October 26, 2020, the official Ready Player 2 Twitter account tweeted something. Exciting news, Ernest Cline's virtual tour for Ready Player 2 has been announced. Here are the details. In the image provided below, it just shows a couple of tour dates for book signings and things of that nature. But at the bottom is what's important. Dates / details to be announced. Roblox event. This was huge. Ready Player 1 happened in 2018. It is now 2020. The community was craving for another good event like that, and we're about to have it. And after this, there was silence for a couple of days, up until November 9th, 2020. That same day, the YouTuber known as SharkBite posted a video titled Roblox Black Friday Sale 2020, Leaked Accessories, where it goes into detail about these newly leaked accessories which showed up on rbx.leaks. The community began to assume they were Black Friday items, while another half assumed they were for Ready Player 2. But just as we know it, these were for Ready Player 2. Not much was known at this time. These items didn't have a specific name, as on the website they were just titled headphones, helmet, glitchpot, and shades. These items are posted on the Roblox catalog with different names, such as the Metastar being named just 77. Since there wasn't an actual name to these items at this moment in time, people didn't know what this was for. But eventually, we all know what it was for. The Ready Player 2 event. We are including Fave in this video strictly for informative purposes. We believe that it is necessary to state that we do not support or condone his actions. It is unfortunate that we have to include him in this video, however, he achieved something very significant in the Ready Player 2 event. Thank you. After this, there was still another couple of days of silence, up until November 18th, 2020, when the Roblox YouTuber Fave posted a video titled Ready Player 2, Roblox event has begun, free item. In this video, Fave dives into the items posted on the Roblox catalog. This time, some of the items had names. 77 was now the Metastar, which confirmed that these items were not for Black Friday, and actually were for the Ready Player 2. Now the relic names did not change. Each relic had an amount of 7s in the name and 7s in the description. Fave decides to inspect a specific item, a mysterious book. This book was a hat which had 2 bold 7s on it, but that wasn't all it had. In the texture, it had a strand of numbers, 59, 67, 51, 41, 78. This ended up being the place ID for the hub of this event, which was at first titled The Mysterious Place. The description stated 23 Nov 2020, which was fair to assume something would be happening that day. Fave joins the game, making him the first player to discover the Ready Player 2 hub, and the first player to obtain a mysterious book. The game was created by a group titled Operation Burt, and it was owned by a user named James Halliday 7. James Halliday is a character in the Ready Player 1 universe. Now at this moment in time, it seems like this account is in place simply for a group holding, but later on he plays a more important role. There was also another game found which was owned by James Halliday 7 and was private. It was titled The Players Open the Portals. In the description it says number 1, find the relic. Number 2, bring it back to the hub. Number 3, question mark, question mark, question mark. And number 4, profit. Quickcraft also posted a video showcasing this newly discovered place. This is when the event's hype began to truly build up. but not when the event truly began. Now, in the hub, there was a lot of changes that would be made throughout this event. The first change was the percentage being turned into a timer. This timer counted down for November 23rd, 10 a.m. PST. The community was hyped. We had no clue what to look forward to, but we were all excited. And on November 23rd, 2020, at 10 a.m. PST, the Roblox Ready Player 2 event began.
Players are ready for games? What?
At that time, a live event occurred in the hub. This was a really short live event as it only showed a couple things. With the timer now removed from the screen, it popped up, "Players are ready for games. Games ready for players." Now for a brief second, you can notice that on the first gate, Piggy shows up. We now knew where to look. And for a few seconds, the screen was showing something else. Silhouettes of the Metastar, Metaphones, and the Metashades. Once those images were shown, we were later prompted with something new. On the big screen it now said Phase 2, with another timer. This timer concluded on December 1st, 2020, at 10 a.m. PST, so for now, we just had to wait it out. While this live event took place, the other items to the event were actually updated. The most significant of this one was the Mysterious Book. The Mysterious Book was updated to Ready Player 2 book, going from a book with 2 bold 7s on it to a basically digital version of the novel. The item names and descriptions were updated for all the other relics as well. While the screen was showing Phase 2, it meant we were currently in Phase 1. Now with the clear obvious hint that the first gate was Piggy, it seems obvious to start there, right? But no, the first game found was not Piggy, it was Bee Swarm Simulator. Bee Swarm Simulator is a Roblox game developed by Onnit. It was released on March 23rd, 2018. On November 23rd, 2020, a puzzle for Ready Player 2 was discovered in it. Now, as seen in the hub, Bee Swarm Simulator was not intended to be the first game. Piggy was, but for whatever reason, it was released on the same day as Piggy, but was discovered far quicker. Now, let's dive into what exactly the quest was. The quest begins by typing in codes into the game's code menu. These codes were originally intended to be found by using riddles around the map. There are 7 codes. You need to type these 7 codes in order to craft the item Strange Goggles. The first code was Troggles. You're able to obtain a riddle from Mother Bear, which would guide you to this code. The next code was Word Factory. You're able to discover this through Onnit's tweet. The tweet Onnit posted was, "Where would a hare prepare the things at which you currently stare?" The next code was Millie. The riddle source was from the Wind Shrine. The next code was Luther. This riddle was given by an Onnit NPC on the map. The 5th code was Carmen Sandiego. This riddle was given to you by an elite red guard on the map. The 6th code was Jumpstart. You're able to receive this riddle from the tutorial. The last code was Dysentery. The riddle source was from the Ant Challenge information. For each code you typed in, you receive 1 7-prong cog. You needed 7 of these to craft the Strange Goggles. Once you have all 7, head over to the shop and craft yourself the Strange Goggles. Each of these codes was referencing an old educational video game. There's a segment in the Ready Player 2 novel which references this as well. This will become a recurring pattern throughout the event, which is why it was important that you actually read the novel. Most of the players that obtained these codes discovered them through Wikipedia articles about educational computer games. The codes were basically brute forced, and you'll notice this becomes an important thing later on in the event. So remember, keep in mind, brute forcing. Now once you have the Strange Goggles equipped, you go to this one area in the map. Upon interacting with the computer, there will be a bee. This bee will later be known as Digital Bee. Digital Bee will flash 4 symbols. This is a code. Go to the Dandelion field and use your collector to reveal and change the appropriate symbols left to right, with the first symbol closest to the sunflower field. These symbols consist of a curly bracket, an asterisk, a tilde, and a question mark. The order is different for everybody though. You know you did it right when a sound plays and the symbols are then replaced with little happy face symbols. You'll then be rewarded a royal jelly as well. That's the first step of the puzzle. Once you finish that, you have to head back to the computer. Digital Bee will be there for a second and then disappear, and then will begin teleporting around the sunflower, clover, and mushroom field. While out of field, the Digital Bee will continuously flash 3 symbols, whether that be the and sign, the tilde, or an asterisk. Doing this, you have to uncover the hidden symbols with your collector and change them into the right sequence. This time, the combination is always the same. The sunflower has the and sign, the clover has the asterisk, and the mushroom has the tilde. When entered, the symbols will change into happy faces, and once again, a sound will play. After the second puzzle is completed, you go back to the computer. The Digital Bee will flash 4 letters. The 4 letters are S, D, M, and C. S stands for sunflower, D stands for dandelion, M stands for mushroom, and C stands for clover. Now in the letter order that the digital bee gives you, you go to those fields. Once you have every symbol in order, you must go to the blue flower field. And in the order that the digital bee gave you, put the symbols in. You know you did it right when once again, there will be happy faces and a sound will play. And on November 23rd, 2020 at 12:42 p.m. PST, the player Shark3016 was the first to complete this quest, rewarding them with the How to Program Basic Avatar item. Now originally the item just had a string of 7s in its name. The item was updated after the first live event in the Ready Player 2 hub on November 23rd. All the other items were updated with updated descriptions and all of that. This item's description was updated to Dartmouth, John G. Kemeny, 1964. Dartmouth Basic is the original version of the basic programming language. It was designed by two professors at Dartmouth College, John G. Kemeny and Thomas E. Kurtz. This is a pretty cool reference. Throughout the event, when the item names change, so do the descriptions. These descriptions will always reference something, which I find is pretty interesting. The player Shark3016 was part of the team titled Roblox Discussion. Roblox Discussion was originally just a small private server, which was made around Ready Player 1. Piggy89, the owner of the Discord server, who I'll be calling Moshine for the rest of the video, was the second to receive this item. He posted himself getting the item in the Beestorm Simulator Discord server, which later led to him being kicked as people thought he was exploiting. Pretty interesting. Now this was our first intro to the event. Seemed pretty calm, pretty straightforward, nothing crazy happened here. But from this point forward, it continuously just gets more and more chaotic. When a player returns to the hub with a relic that has not yet been obtained, it will trigger this animation. Now this animation only occurs 7 times since there's only 7 relics. This animation was just the gate opening with a small little sound effect playing in the back. Now, when a gate opens, that lets anybody know where the relic is. And that's it for the first relic. But now, on November 23rd, another relic was found. This time, the relic was found in Piggy. Piggy was a Roblox game developed by Minitoon, released on January 28th, 2020. And on November 23rd, 2020, a puzzle for the Ready Player 2 event was discovered inside of it. Now with the context of the game, let's dive into what exactly this quest really was. Before it was obvious that there would be a quest for Ready Player 2 in this game, the badge was named something else. The badge was originally called Secret Badge. In the description, it says, "You have discovered the Maple Donuts hideout." This led people to believe that this was genuinely just a Piggy badge, and it was a secret quest they had to discover. But to this day, the badge still has not been updated and still titled Secret Badge, and you have discovered the Maple Donuts hideout. Now, let's dive into what this quest actually was. To start this quest off, you have to go to Book 2 and pick Alleys, Chapter 1, in any game mode. Wait for the timer to hit 7 o'clock. You really want to play through this map up until you get the red key, the mop, and the green key. These items are important. Players are able to discover that you're supposed to get this far due to a game posted by James Holiday 7 titled, So you found another code. And in the description, there's a clue. There's been a spill in the alley, can someone clean that up? Once it's the 7:30 mark, go to the red key room and click the middle door in the hallway. You will hear a specific number of knocks. Go to the dining room and run up to a red dice next to a bench and click it as many times as you heard the door knock. This dice is a reference to Dungeons and Dragons. Pretty cool. Now run back to the red key room and repeat the process clicking the door. But now, go to the laundromat and go next to the washing machines. There you'll find another dice, a green dice. Click that dice as many times as you heard the door knock the second time. Now you go back to the door, click it again, and memorize the third set of knocks. Then run to the green key room and go next to the bench with the yellow safe, where you'll find the blue dice. Once you click the dice by the amount of knocks you heard, then run up to the door and you'll hear someone talk. Now the door will open. Once you walk into it, you find yourself in a new subspace. This is what we're referring to as the VR subspace. Now, you're in the VR subspace. You must put all the levers facing the wall down to open a door. This is a little complicated puzzle, but it's actually kind of fun to figure out. Make sure you have a good amount of time to complete this. It does take a bit. In order to blow out the torches, you just need to click and tap them as many times as needed up until they blow out. Once you're done blowing out the fires, go back to the lever part and make it so they face you instead of the wall. The big door will start closing, so be quick and get in. A platform will make the elephant fall and another big door will open. Once you enter the door, there'll be another Piggy there. This Piggy is all glitchy and it's honestly kind of cool for what they're trying to go for. This Piggy is called Glitchy, and Glitchy will start chasing you. It's not that fast, so you don't really have to worry about it, but still, be careful. There'll also be music that will start playing as the screen glitches while you're in this subspace. This room is bigger. There are holes around the room, but there's invisible walls so you don't fall in. Around the wall pillars, there will be squares. Each with a specific number of lines. When the number of lines is counted, it will determine which number the square represents. Click the squares with the number of lines in order of the numbers that you heard when you knocked on the door to input the 3 dice. There's limited time to find them, as the ceiling will start to collapse to kill you. After inputting the numbers correctly, another door will open and you can escape the place. Once you go through the door, you'll obtain the badge, Secret Badge, awarding you with the second relic, the Crown of Madness. While you receive the relic, you also receive 2 clothing items, the Robes of Madness and Pants of Madness. They go perfect with the avatar item. Just like how to program basic, the Crown of Madness is actually titled the Strand of Sevens as well, with a different description. The updated description is, looks like your wisdom saving throw failed, the madness is glowing in your eyes. This is a reference to Dungeons and Dragons, so this entire item is a reference to Dungeons and Dragons. Pretty cool. Now for the past 3 years, it was known that Roblox Discussion was the first to obtain this relic, but that is actually wrong. They followed by just a couple of minutes, but the first video of obtaining this badge was posted by Moshinate, the owner of Roblox Discussion, who I'd like to thank for letting me use this footage for this relic and a few more later in this video. The first group to obtain this badge was actually just a smaller friend group titled The Homies, and at 5:09 PM PST, Chuck G was the first to obtain this relic. And now in the background, I have a video posted by What Up Nader, a member of The Homies, which shows that there's only 7 of these badges claimed. During the time the Ready Player 2 event was actually taking place, there was another Roblox event going on at the same time. Roblox Battles 2. Piggy also had a game in that event. So that means Piggy had 2 events active at once, which caused some confusion between the steps. Now, that was Relic 2. On November 25th, 2020, Relic 3 was found in Robloxian Highschool. Robloxian Highschool is a Roblox game released in August 2016, created by Robloxian Highschool Group. Now, Robloxian Highschool was honestly the weakest out of this event. This probably had the shortest quest, but the most infuriating one. Now, let's get started with this relic. Now, to start this relic off, you had to go to the library inside of the school at 8:05 AM on the in-game clock. At 8:05 AM, a key would spawn right behind the chair that you were sitting on. Originally, it required 6 players to sit in the specific chairs to get the key, but then it was just only nerfed to 1. This was just simply a reference to the Breakfast Club. Then once you obtained the key, you had to go to this door and use the key on the door, and then you would go through a portal that contained an obby. Now this is where the problems occur. This obby was an okay difficulty, not too hard, but not too easy, but what matters is the end point of this. At the end of the obby, in order to obtain the relic, you had to fall to a platform below it. You had to fall at such a specific pixel, and if you didn't, you would actually die, resetting you from the whole obby and teleporting you back to just your random house, make you having to do the entire quest all over again. And if you fall in the right space and fall to the platform below it, Bombastic Bling will be there on the second platform waiting for you. Walking up and touching the Bombastic Bling will award you with the Bombastic Bling avatar item, the Bombastic Hoodie, and the Bombastic Jeans. And on November 25th, 2020, at 11:11 AM PST, Flusky was the first to obtain the Bombastic Bling. Flusky was part of this group called Seed Gang. The reports in this event will shine later, but for right now, they were the first to obtain the Bombastic Bling, and that's what matters here. Now at first, when you get the Bombastic Bling, you get it through the badge titled Pet Egg Unhatched in Robloxian Highschool. This badge was later updated to be called Bombastic Bling with the description, you completed the quest for the 2020 Ready Player 2 event. You can still complete it and get this exclusive item only in Robloxian Highschool. And with more emphasis on the fact that this quest was inspired by the Breakfast Club, the description of the Bombastic Bling says, "Don't mess with the boy, young man. You'll get the horns."
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
Pretty cool. That same day that this relic was claimed, something crazy happened. Flusky and the rest of Seed Gang decided to go to the Ready Player 2 to show off the fact that they were the first to this item. And during this time, James Holiday 7 makes his first appearance. James Holiday 7 was the owner of the group that owned the Ready Player 2 hub, Operation Burt. We actually had no clue who owned the James Holiday 7 account still to this day, but they're actually doing something pretty important. James Holiday 7 decided to ask Seed Gang about how they obtained the relic. In a way, it was James Holiday 7 checking if they were actually exploiting during this event. The screenshots provided were actually through private chats, and someone actually exploited to obtain these images. Now, in order for James Holiday 7 to actually be done with the conversation, they had to explain every single step in perfect description. At the end of the conversation, The seed gang members actually gave usernames to people that actually did cheat during this event. It's November 25th. Phase 2 begins December 1st. In this small waiting period, a few things actually occur. I'm gonna call this waiting period the calm before the unicorn, and you'll understand exactly why. On November 26th, the Ready Player 2 hub was updated with a few things. Inside of the Ready Player 2 hub, there's a small screen that the developers used to use to communicate with the players. Being updated with I want to 777 back in only 101. And being updated on Thanksgiving with Dev Note, Happy Thanksgiving, we'll see you December 1st. Also on Thanksgiving, there was another update. On the floor of the hub, it read Happy Thanksgiving with a large turkey image on it. Just a couple hours later, people discovered something new. 6 decal images were leaked. These decal images were just a small piece, which when all put together would form this ASCII art. It formed this cool image of a unicorn. These decals were found in a developer of Bad Business's inventory. That same day, it was also leaked that Bad Business had a universe-connected place called Operation Unicorn. What made people really connect the dots that this was for Ready Player 2 was actually a section in the novel, which references ASCII art as well. One more thing was actually found this day. In the Roblox game Tower Heroes, developed by Pixelbit Studio, there was something cool. In a small corner in the lobby, there was this small little TV screen character. When clicked on, a glitchy effect would play all over it. Now on this little TV thing, there's a green button and a red button. Spam the red button and it will teleport you to a new subplace. This subplace was called Above the Clouds, and it was by Hilo. So now, here we are, in Above the Clouds. Now while walking around, it kind of just seems like this is just a random game that you just stumbled upon. And I'm probably questioning, what does this have to do with Ready Player 2? So let me run you through what happens here. You're in this area called Above the Clouds. On here, you're just on a bunch of mountains that are of course above the clouds. You go behind this one area and you'll see this little ghost thing. When you click on it enough, there will be something that changes. The little green face on the bottom left of the screen will turn red for a bit. And then eventually, you'll be teleported into a new subplace called Entry. You appear in this snowy, rocky area. And then, doors open and you enter into this new atmosphere. Seems to be some laboratory of some sort. Walking in and looking to the right, you'll see something. Interdimensional test site ahead. Keep out. There'll be another screen with text on the left, but this time it'll only say ... Inspecting it, it says, I see you, but in red text this time. Now exploring a bit further, you find this one room. This room is called Relics. And now, this is what gets people to believe that this is for Ready Player 2. Walking in and inspecting the room, you'll notice something. Another sign that says Relics, with a couple items there. And the most notable one being the Bee Swarm Honey coin. Going further, the robot face keeps telling you to leave. Eventually, if you don't leave, you'll reach this boss fight. Playing through the boss fight and beating it, you think everything is done and over. But then a small cutscene plays, and a guy in a chicken suit shows up. This is actually a reference to the Roblox Ready Player 1 event, which in Jailbreak had a guy in a chicken suit. Even though this game seemed super high quality and seemed like it was part of the event, it actually wasn't. I actually spoke to Hilo, the developer of Tower Heroes and the developer of this game as well. Hilo states, Above the Clouds was made a long time ago before Ready Player 2 as a passion project. We weren't actually working with Roblox to make fake badges like the other devs were, as there was a survey in their Discord for the devs that they had devs fill out with badge ID and stuff like that. Once we got into the Discord server for the dev stuff, I found out about the survey. This was after Ready Player 2 had ended. And I told Devro about the Tower Hero thing we did as a joke, and they had us fill out the survey. It took a really long time for them to finally award the meta pins though. What Hilo meant by to make fake badges like the other devs were, as there was a survey in the Discord for devs, is actually referring to this message that was posted in this developer Discord. Developers are asked to put a fake badge inside of their games to disguise the other games for Ready Player 2. If the developers did, they would receive this cool little item called the meta pin. And here's a screenshot of a message sent in a developer Discord. From Rough Spearblocks, add developer, an event is coming this November, and we need your help to deter players from locating the games participating. Games who help us will be able to nominate up to 5 teammates to receive a super special virtual item. Here's what I need from you. First, on November 9th, we need as many games as possible to upload a badge. On November 23rd, we need as many games as possible to update their game. If you believe you can help contribute to this, please react to this message. More reminders to come closer to the date. And now, the super special virtual item was what Hilo was referring to as the meta pin. Developers who put a fake badge in their game would later on receive this small item. So that was it for November 26th. And on November 27th, there is confirmation that bad business was in this event. And now, let me add some further context. RP Battles was another Roblox event going on during the time of the Ready Player 2 event, as I mentioned earlier in this video, but they had a Discord server. In this Discord server, they had a channel titled Images. This would of course allow users to post images. And this channel essentially became a place for leakers to post images that they would obtain. And on November 27th, images will be posted in this Discord showcasing this new subplace in bad business. One of the most notable images was this picture of a pillar with an item on top. This was like a glitch teapot. People remembered that this item was leaked a couple of days ago and had a few 7s in the title, so people knew that this was for Ready Player 2. And on December 1st, the day the counter in the hub was supposed to finish, there were some updates around the hub. The tiny screen inside of the hub updated, just saying dev note with a book emoji and a thinking emoji. There's also a bunch of little images added around the hub, but there's one noticeable change. This being this large van that showed up in the hub. Next to it was a character. It is basically a Roblox version of the character from the Ready Player 1 movie, called the Curator. Now originally, when this van first had landed into the hub, it wasn't opened. But a couple hours later, it was open, and there were some items for sale. And there's a large green pad next to this van. Stepping onto the pad, you'll see 7 new items for sale. These being the Gunters for Life backpack, the VR headset, the RP2 headphones, the Gunters Never Die mech wings, the Vaporwave wings, the Vaporwave hood, and the Vaporwave headphones. Stepping into the van, you'll see these items, but also some clothes. You see the robes of badness, and on the right of it, this new thing we've never seen before. This will be later known as the meta suit. Behind the van was a reference to the Ready Player 1 movie. In the movie, the character's password was B055man69. And then, at 10 AM PST, the timer finally finished. When the timer hit 0, the timer disappeared and someone showed up on screen. David Baszucki shows up on screen. And then Ernest Cline does as well, the author of Ready Player 2. This then led into a 20-minute conversation which is still being showed in the hub to this day. And now, this conversation may seem like nothing right now, but it becomes insanely important for the next 4 relics. And it was really important that you actually did watch this conversation because of its importance. The importance of this conversation is made apparent within the first 10 minutes of it being here. So now, we're in phase 2, and the importance of this conversation will already begin to shine. It will begin to shine with relic 4, bad business. Bad Business was a Roblox game released in May of 2019, developed by Bad Business Group. This is probably my favorite game in the event, so I'm going to really enjoy talking about this one. Quest was released on December 1st at 10 AM PST, right when the timer finished in the Ready Player 2 hub. In the conversation between Ernest Cline and David Baszucki, something is said. Ernest Cline says,
Reminds me, she wanted me to ask you if you could get her a unicorn.
type the word unicorn in the code menu of the game and you'll receive a pair of VR goggles. And be sure to equip it. Equipped, you load up into a match. You want to have these VR goggles equipped because they help you see these fragments. These fragments can be located in these maps: Canal, Chernobyl, Rocket Facility, Legacy Area 51, Soviet Square, Trainwreck, Arena, and Factory. Each map has 8 code fragments resembling parts of a unicorn. And now you see why I titled the previous segment, The Calm Before the Unicorn. 4 of these fragments are real, but another 4 are just decoys. You have to move close to the fragments with the VR headset on and scan them to save them into your HUD menu. Once you use the correct code fragments, you must find a door that is shaped like a jukebox located somewhere in the map and insert the correct combination. After that, it will show a bar displaying uploading, and if the pieces are correct, you will be teleported into a game called Operation Unicorn. You're teleported to Operation Unicorn, and if you have your volume on, this sick soundtrack will play. In this subplace, you're fighting waves of zombies while advancing through the map using the preset equipment you were given. You're in this cool foggy atmosphere and you're constantly going through different areas. Throughout each area that you visit, there will be dialogue that will show up at the top of your screen, creating an even better sense of mystery. Once you get far enough, you'll reach a small town. Once you make it far enough in the small town, there'll be a new area. The town seems to fade off into this white void. It is the unicorn image that was leaked prior. Approaching the unicorn more, you'll fall down to a second layer. And there it is, the 4th relic. Touching the relic awards you with the CEO badge, giving you the 1x1x1x1's teapot avatar item, 1x1x1x1's shirt, and 1x1x1x1's pants. And at 10:30 a.m. PST, Flesky was the first to obtain this item. Now the footage I used of the teapot being claimed was given to me by Tremo, who followed Flesky by just a few seconds, which made him second to this relic. This was Flesky's second first place finish during this event. As mentioned before, Flesky was allied with Seed Gang. The relic originally had 6 7s in his name, but about 15 minutes after the quest went live, it was updated to 1x1x1x1's teapot. The description reads, wipeout count over 9,000. This item's description references the it's over 9,000 meme. And now, just a couple hours later after that quest was solved, players are discovering what the next game was. The next game was SharkBite. SharkBite is a Roblox game released in April of 2017, developed by Abracadabra Group. SharkBite was the 5th game for this event, and let me just say, I'm gonna really enjoy talking about this one. So the same day the quest for Bad Business was enabled, the quest for SharkBite was enabled as well. But here's the thing, the quest wasn't actually finished until December 2nd, but people began the quest on December 1st. So let me dive into what this quest is. So to start this quest off, you want to play as the shark. As you are the shark, you want to go to each corner of the map and hit these red boys. There's 4 of them total. Still as a shark, you want to dive down. There's this very specific section in this rock place that you have to hit. Super boost into it, and when you super boost into it, you'll see somebody. You'll see Leonard. He just spits you some text, but here's something important. Here I can hide from the horrors of the real world. The virtual oasis is where I am most happy. And that's it. That's what was found on December 1st. But people were claiming the badge on December 1st, but weren't actually finishing the quest. The way people were obtaining this relic at first was through exploits. The first 17 owners of the Helm of Riptide were actually exploiters. Originally, these exploiters would say that they glitched in order to obtain the badge, as seen here in a Creekcraft YouTube livestream. Creekcraft messages the exploiter on Roblox and just asks him if he glitched, and he just responds with yes. So here we are, stuck right here. My friend Vion was able to talk to one of the exploiters who obtained this relic before it was legitimately discovered. Out of respect and out of their request, I will be censoring their name and any screenshots that could include it. Basically, how it was exploited was through a script posted on the Vermilion website. Here's a screenshot of when the badge was at a really low count. This script would allow players to teleport into the final area which you would obtain the relic at, skipping over literally the whole quest. And I remember early in the video, I brought up that James Holiday 7 was asking Seed Gang for exploiter names, and that they could have been disqualified for exploiting. Now, a funny thing here is the person being interviewed brings up that their friend was still able to obtain the metaphones even though they cheated to get the Helm of Riptide. One of the exploiters ended up going back to the hub to show off the fact that they had the relic. Here's a screenshot of an exploiter in the hub talking about it. It was literally in the Sin Dis like ages ago. Now, since they returned to the hub, it meant the gate opened inside of the hub, so now everybody knew that the next relic was in SharkBite, but yet didn't actually know how to solve it. But that all changed on December 2nd. On December 2nd, someone makes a return. James Holiday 7 makes his return, saying, "Give the smallest boat some advice." Now, it wasn't apparent on what to do with this at first, but this was a reference to the movie Jaws.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Which was also referenced in the conversation between Ernest Cline and David Bazuki.
You're gonna need a bigger boat, is the line that I always...
And now, here's a video of when the quest continues.
You're messing with me, and I'm gonna be really, really sad. Oh, what? We actually figured it out.
And the next step was pretty silly. You had to go up to this painting in the lobby, which is created by SharkBite Fan 7. And of course, wasn't an actual player. I was simply an account made for this event. While you're in front of this painting, you have to say, "You're going to need a bigger boat." Once you say that, you obtain 4 big red boys. And then you're going to want a submarine. You take the submarine down in the ocean until you find the Titanic. When you find the Titanic, you attach these boys around them. Once you do that, small little cutscene plays where the Titanic flies up in the air for some reason. And then you go back to Leonard and talk to him. He gives you a green emerald as a gift. Pretty funny guy he thinks he is. Then you want to go back to the lobby and go up this lighthouse. On the top of the lighthouse, there'll be a telescope. You place the gem you got inside of this telescope, and then you aim it at the sun. Then, once you look at the sun, a pathway will be created and the door will be right there. Once you walk in through the door, you're in the last step of this quest. And then you're fighting a Leonard robot boss, welcoming you to the virtual oasis. To beat this boss fight, you just have to make the missiles hit Leonard. Once all his health is down, he'll spin around, he'll basically explode. And all that hard work, you end up in this new area. You just walk a bit forward, and on a pillar, the 5th relic is there, the Helm of Riptide. Touching the relic awards you with the Helm of Riptide avatar item, the Armor of Riptide shirt, and the Armor of Riptide pants. The description of the Helm of Riptide reads, "Not like going down the pond, chasing bluegills or Tommy cats." And then, at 5:01 PM PST, Swag Money Offline was the first to claim the Helm of Riptide. Swag Money Offline was part of Seed Gang, but let me run something back a little. After Robloxian Highschool, Roblox Discussion, Seed Gang, and another group called Eggify decided, you know what, let's all form one little group. They call this the Triple Alliance. Basically, through this, they would just share as much information as possible to be ahead as many people as possible. So, once Machinate discovered the fact that you had to go up to this painting and talk to it, he shared that information with the Triple Alliance, allowing Seed to obtain this relic first. So the same night that the 5th relic was discovered, a famous developer decided to join the Roblox Discussion Discord server. This developer was Below Natural, and now he proceeds to try to bribe the members to give him the solution, saying, "LOL, what if I gave 5k Robux to the first person to show me how to get the SharkBite relic? Ha 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 ha." And without saying too much, this ended up becoming a more massive situation later on. But for right now, just try to remember the fact that Below Natural tried to bribe these gunters for the solution. So that's it for Relic 5. This is December 2nd. A day later, things start to go crazy. So let's dive into Gate 6, Vehicle Simulator. Vehicle Simulator was a Roblox game developed by SimBuilder, released in August of 2014. The game hasn't been updated for a few months due to a certain incident that we'll be moving past, but let's talk about the Ready Player 2 event here. Once you join the game, you just want to spawn a car, but originally, to start this quest, you had to buy the CMD hover car. You want to be playing the retro radio. Players knew this because of the conversation between Ernest Cline and David Baszucki, where Ernest Cline says,
I like to take this car out every night between usually like 8 and 10 o'clock and listen to 80s music.
When you're in the car between 8 through 10 and listen to the 80s radio, some Morse code would play. This Morse code would spit off some specific words. These words would be for a vending machine in the laboratory. The order for the vending machine was chocolate, hot dog, cola, pink, glazed, hot dog, and cola. So once that's done, the desk will lift up and you can head down. Down there will be a pair of VR goggles and a computer. This computer reads, status, 0 out of 8, data drives. You must open the phone and go through the phone menu and equip the VR goggles. Once the VR goggles are equipped, you want to find these 8 drives. The locations are literally everywhere around the map, consisting of near the airport, near these apartment buildings, in a shipping container, in the city, in a barn, near a campfire, in the city again, and on a tower. Once you obtain all 8, a little cutscene will play where the lasers disappear from this gated area. Then you go back to the laboratory, type in the same code, and head down once again. So now you're in this tunnel area and you want to drive the CMD hover car and make it fly so you can go over this green area. Once you're at the end of it, there'll be another computer. You want to type in the code 1985. This is a reference to the movie Back to the Future. 1985 was the year the first movie released. I love this reference as Back to the Future is one of my favorite film series ever. Then you want to enter in the rocket. Once you enter and sit down in the rocket, a cutscene will play saying Ad Astra per Aspera completed. And you'll receive the badge Ad Astra. This means to the stars. Obtaining the 6th badge awards the player with the 6th relic, Rick's Boombox. The description reads, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Boy, this thing is heavy. This is a reference to Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down. And on December 3rd, 2020 at 10:22 a.m., Arctal was the first to obtain this relic. And on this Discord message posted by Artemis the Deer, a contributor to Vehicle Simulator, I'll show this badge being complete. And in the first force is United States 11, who goes by Arctal now, Hayori, Vitebite, and then Berryboy 81. These 4 were the first 4 to complete it, obviously, but here's where the important thing comes up. After these 4 actually obtained it, the game just shut down, and that's because this quest was not supposed to release on December 3rd. And while the game was shut down, players were discovering what the final game was, and that being Dungeon Quest. Welcome to the worst part of this event, Dungeon Quest. Dungeon Quest was a Roblox game released in September of 2018, developed by Dungeon Quest Group. So now, why did I say this was the worst part of the event? Well, let's dive into it. So on December 3rd, 2 relics were being discovered at the exact same time, Vehicle Simulator and Dungeon Quest. And right here, it's just a race on who can finish them all at once, because remember, the first 77 players to finish all 7 gates receive the Metastar, and the first 777 players to finish all 7 gates receive the Metaphones. So to start this quest off, you have to touch 7 gems located in the lobby 1. You gotta touch them in a specific pattern, and guess what? This pattern was given to you by Ernest Cline in the interview. Ernest Cline says,
7 Chaos Emeralds that were red, yellow, blue, cyan, white, purple, and green.
So you gotta go red, yellow, blue, cyan, white, purple, and green. So once you do that, keypad will appear on the cave that is located at the end of the creek, located near the cell merchant. Now originally, to obtain the code for this keypad, you could have literally just brute forced it, spamming the numbers until it eventually gave you the right combination. But in the middle of the quest being solved, they patched this, so you're forced to do the other method. In the lobby, you must find these lanterns. You must position yourself in a way where you can see all of the lanterns at once. There are 4 lanterns that you're supposed to be seeing. These lanterns are supposed to blink 6 times. Now all of them may not blink at once, but that's what you have to remember. Depending on each blink, you have to count how many actually blink at once. So if only 1 blinks at first, that means the first number of the code is 1. But on the second time, if 3 blink, that means the second number is 3. But now, it's made way easier, and the 6-digit code is just hidden behind the bars, right next to the keypad. Once you type in the code, you'll be teleported somewhere else. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see Q and E. These are your special attacks. Clicking will allow you to just attack with your sword. So now, you just have to move forward, and there will be an obby. Once you make it through, welcome to the end. This is probably the worst thing that you could probably ever have to deal with this event. But, here we go. So here you are, in the boss fight. The boss is called the Glitch. You have 3 lives, and you have however many amount of time you have left after completing the obby. This boss fight is pretty RNG based, so you kinda just have to spam to actually beat it. What makes this boss annoying is it will sometimes heal, causing you to have to go destroy the things that are healing him. And guess what, if you die, you have to go and find the code for the keypad once again. Once you beat the boss fight, you'll be awarded with the Meet the Developer badge. Obtaining the badge awards you with the final relic, the Chaotic Top Hat. And at 11:30 AM PST, SharkBite was the first to obtain this relic. Since SharkBite was the first to obtain the final relic, there was one more thing left to do for them, and that was head back to the Ready Player 2 hub. So now, you're back in the Ready Player 2 hub. You go forward where the portals are, and you step on the crystal. There, your avatar is thrown up in the air, and here it happens. SharkBite was the first to obtain the Metastar, the Metaphones, and the Metashades. Unfortunately, there isn't any footage of SharkBite being the first to obtain the Metastar. However, here's a video of him and his group. During the time the Metastars were still available, whenever a player would obtain it, it would have the player name with is winner and the number they were for claiming the Metastar. This would also show on the giant screen in the hub, and then right below this air vent for some odd reason. Once all 77 Metastars were claimed, it said at the top of every lobby, all the crowns have been claimed. So it would take about another hour until all the Metaphones were claimed. And then, once all the Metaphones were claimed, that meant all the exclusive items were done, leaving any player to complete all 7 quests with simply just the Metashades. And that's it. That was the end of the Roblox Ready Player 2 event. Whether you had a reaction like this,
I did it! Okay. Oh my god!
or a reaction like this,
Let's go! 254, 868th to the Metastar!
you have to admit, this event was pretty fun. But the things relating to this event do not end here. So let's talk post Ready Player 2. So following the end of this event, there's a lot of controversy about the winners. And a specific controversy I want to get into relates to something I mentioned earlier, Below Natural. Below Natural decided to make a Twitter thread that begins with, okay, now here's the rant about RPT and its implications for future events. In this Twitter thread, he accuses certain groups of exploiting, most notably Seed King, and talks about how unfair the event was due to exploiters. This tweet ended up causing a lot of backlash towards Seed Gang and Roblox discussion. This ended up becoming a major issue for Roblox discussion and Seed Gang, as everyone was accusing them of being exploiters, even though they obtained everything legitimately, and Seed Gang and Roblox discussion did not exploit. For more details about this situation, you can watch this YouTube video posted by Machinate called Below Natural's False Tweets, Roblox Ready Player 2. I edited this video, by the way, so, go give it a watch. In this video, they just simply respond to the accusation and how that affected them. Also on December 4th, people were trying to get into Metastar owners' Roblox accounts in order to just delete the item. This led to a lot of them getting spammed with emails, a lot of hate everywhere, and overall just created a negative space for them just obtaining this virtual item. And you can also blame this Below Natural tweet for making it seem as if all the Metastar owners were actually exploiters, when in reality, Below Natural only missed out on this because of, the luck-based boss fight. On December 6th, Creekcraft decided to start a YouTube livestream up. In this livestream, Creekcraft says,
I had one of the developers of the Ready Player 2 events, they DM'd me on Twitter, and they said, tell your audience that the Ready Player 2 event isn't over with yet, and I was like, it's not?
And now 3 years later, what the developer probably meant by this was simply that the event wasn't actually done and players can still obtain the items for it. Even in 2024, all these quests are actually still active and are still rewarding players with the items. On December 8th, one of the developers of the Roblox Ready Player 2 event, Evil Artist, who designed and modeled the items, said this on a live stream.
I'm also finishing up some, I say like it's a bad thing. I'm finishing up some RP2 stuff too. I don't know if I can really share that yet. Don't quote me at all, please. I don't know if it's coming or not, we'll see, but whatever. That's all.
They somewhat teased that Ready Player 2 wasn't done and there was still work for her to do for it. This ended up actually just being her having to work on Metaverse Champions, which is another Roblox event that she was involved in. On December 22nd, a Twitter account known as RBX News tweeted, a Roblox admin was recently spotted wearing the upcoming Curator Arthro bundle. This is a character from the Ready Player 1 universe. To this day, we actually have not had this package released on the Roblox avatar shop. So the mystery still remains if we'll ever actually get this or not. I personally am hoping, because this is pretty sick and it's from the Ready Player 1 movie, so why would this not be cool? On February 19th, 2021, a new place was actually added to the Operation Bird group. This place was just titled Rocks. This place ended up just actually being for the Roblox event which would later come, called Metaverse Champions. And just like mentioned earlier, Evil Artist was part of working on this event, and several other developers that worked on the Ready Player 2 event were part of this event as well. This event was later released in April, and in the hub you can see this meta shard on this pillar. This was just a neat little reference that didn't actually tie back to Ready Player 2. What did cause people to actually believe that Rocks was for Ready Player 2 was just a day later after the place was published, all the portals in the Roblox Ready Player 2 hub actually closed, and so did the van. And to this day, we still don't actually know why this happened, but it was probably just a random bug. And on September 13th, 2021, the last thing relating to this event occurred. And it was really exciting. The Ready Player 2 Twitter account tweeted, exciting Ready Player 2 news coming tomorrow, hashtag Ready Player 2. And then Roblox responds to this tweet with, looks like the Oasis and the Metaverse will converge again tomorrow morning. Eyes emoji. And now this took the community by storm. We were all hyped thinking, oh, the event's not over, there's a sequel. But that was not it. So it's September 14th, 2021. Here we are, 6 AM PST in the Roblox Ready Player 2 hub, waiting for something. And that something appears. The grand reveal of the Ready Player 2 paperback cover is shown in the Ready Player 2 hub. That is literally it. The whole community was took by storm expecting a sequel to the Ready Player 2 event, just for it to be this. And that was the last official mention from Roblox about the Roblox Ready Player 2 event. The community still stands strong, with UGC creators creating items related to Ready Player 2 being meta-themed or VR-themed. There was still a lot of information missing about this event, which I was able to compile for this video. But one major thing was after a couple years, people were actually able to discover all 77 owners of the Metastar. The main contributors for this list were Green271, Upgrid2, Skeptics, Dust, Salvatore AFK, Vion, Bactabini, Tremo, and Sea Winship. Green271 actually owns a game called Event Hangout, which shows the leaderboards for the items in Ready Player 2. So, that's it. That's the Roblox Ready Player 2 event. But you know what? Give me a second. Hi, I'm Zolduva. So, you made it to the end of this video, and I just want to say thank you for making it this far. This project originally began on November 14th. I was in computer science class listening to the Kingdom Hearts 2 soundtrack. While listening to the Kingdom Hearts 2 soundtrack, Treasured Memories started playing, which is a song that's actually playing in the background of this clip right now. I thought to myself that this song would go good in a commentary style video. And I had this idea months ago, to make a video looking back on the Roblox Ready Player 2 event. So, here we are, 100 hours of editing later, hours of research, and multiple contributors. We are done. This video went through a lot of ups and downs. My old graphics card was actually unable to properly run my editing software while editing this video due to how much I was adding. So I ended up spending a bit on another graphics card to continue the progress of this video. Around the time I was actually almost done with this video, the entire file corrupted, not allowing me to render what I already had done and not allowing me to add any changes to what I was doing. But I put in more hours and decided, you know what, this project is not done. And I was able to get everything back and how to make some changes to what was corrupted, but here we are, done with this video, and you the viewer enjoyed it, hopefully. I want to thank everyone that contributed anything to this video, as it was all a big help to me, which you guys will have your own section in, a little bit. It is currently January 20th, 2:56 a.m., and I'm finally adding the last final touches to this video. And if everything went right, you're seeing it right now. But with that being said, that marks the end of this video. So thank you so much for watching.
Never stop 止まりたくない犠牲になった愛が倍してもビッグ目指してスイートワンでスイートビッグ原告音はそうキーシフトちは道へかの登山 Never gonna stop trick my dream
一なモチベーション全てのシミュレーション逃げてみたってどこでもセーフティーゾーン何かを手に入れて何かを忘れてく世界が壊れても変わらない1秒でノックダウン余韻残し消えて Go to the next sound 誇り舞う敗者地に這ういくつだけの野良君たち邪魔くさいからしかとしていこうストリーカー去ってゆくスイートの向こう Something that you know